Hey guys, this is Coach Bill with Weight Loss Made Easy Solution. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. We're going to have a scorcher day today, guys. So it's going to be hot. So this old body is definitely not going to go outside today. Hey guys, I want to do this video because there's a lot of controversy or a lot of questions about about your blood sugar and how low is safe and when issues happen. So I'm going to do a live blood test on myself and show you where I'm at. And we did one yesterday, and I'll explain what I'm talking about. But let's lay the foundation down first. So the reason why I'm doing this, guys, is because a lot of health professionals and doctors are telling people that you don't want to get your blood sugar down to a certain level because it's not safe. And in a sense, they're right. But when it comes to people like us, Emily and I, who have been doing our protocol, which is primal eating or keto, and we are combining it with intermittent and prolonged fasting, and plus we're drinking hydrogen-rich water, which helps regulate the blood sugar also. We've been doing this for a long, long time. And the problem is, the issue is, a lot of health professionals and doctors, they really don't know the physiology of the body when it comes to the two energy systems that we have. You guys have heard me talk about this. If you go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill, maybe subscribe to it. There's actually a video on there. You can also go to my Weight Loss Made Easy Solution Facebook group page, join it. And there's information about what I mean by the two energy sources. See, that's where the confusion is Emily and I have switched over to the second energy source. So real briefly, you have two energy systems, guys. One is where most of you are at. Most of you are carboholics. You're eating a lot of refined carbs, processed fast food carbs, causing your insulin level or glucose levels to be high all the time, and your body is living off the sugar or operating off the sugar that you guys are eating. The second, and that's a main source of fuel you're using to operate your body. Because Emily and I are fat adapted, when our blood sugar gets to a certain level in our blood, our body knows how to switch over to our own stored body fat, tap into there, and use that as our actual fuel to operate our body throughout the day. And that's exactly what we want, because that's how we're controlling our body fat percentage and keeping our body fat down so low. And besides that, there's a ton of other great benefits from that, and I'll go through that real quick. But the blood test that I'm going to show you real quick will be a great example on actually how fat adaptation works. Now, those of you that are just starting out in our program, you're brand new, or if you're just starting out there, you got to know that your body will not switch to burning fat automatically. It has to be taught how to do it. And that's why some of you who go right into doing a ketogenic diet or a primal diet or intermittent fasting will most likely fail, because your body isn't trained to switch over the fat. So when your blood sugar does get too low, which I said it will, then that's when you start getting lightheaded, and that's when you actually that's when you pass out, because your blood sugar is too low, because it doesn't know how to switch over to fat. Now, on the second energy system that we have, you have to also understand that when your body switches over to fat, imagine this, it actually dips into your own stored fat cells, pulls the fat out, puts it in the liver, and produces ketones. That is what the body thrives on the second energy source, is the ketones. So if you're pulling the fat out of your own stored fat, and not from the fat you're eating, but from your own stored fat, you think maybe you might lose some of that belly fat? Absolutely. Plus, you'll produce more ketones, And that way, when your blood sugar gets to a certain level, because you're not eating a lot of carbs, you're depleting your body of carbs, basically, then the body switches to the ketones, and the brain and the body and the cells love ketones. Matter of fact, science calls it rocket fuel. Now, what I've learned, not only on ourselves, but on my clients, is that in order to elevate the ketones when you go into a fasting day. Now, you guys know I love doing alternate day fastings because we have a non-fasting day and then we have a fasting day. We have a non-fasting day and we have a fasting day, okay? So I'm dipping into both good worlds here. But anyway, what I've learned for me and for most is that the meal the night before, because see, the object is obviously to be rooted fat adaptation, but the object is to dip into your own body fat if you're going to lose that weight or that body fat that you want to lose, right? So what I've learned is that at your evening meal, say on my non-fasting day, I'm going to have 2 solid meals and a snack, and usually a hot coffee with coconut cream in it. So that's going to be my non-fasting day. Now, if I want to eat before 12, because see, for us, we've been doing this routine for a few years now. We, on our non-fasting day, because we work out in the morning, we never work out in a fasted state, my first meal is going to be around 11 or 12. Can I have it at 10? Yes, if I work out at 6 or 7 or 8, I can have a meal at 10, have lunch at 2, have my dinner at 3, or at 6 on my non-fasting days. I can do that. And they're all going to be higher fat foods, the primal meals that are in my cookbook. But what I've learned is that if you do on your last meal of the day, what I've learned, I don't know if I should be telling this because this is part of my protocol, so I'm giving away my secrets here. But what I've learned is that by keeping your meal at night in a moderate serving, doing more of a vegetables with, like for example, I'll give you an example of what I did the night before we started our fasting. I did about 2.5 cups of string beans. I put them in, I fried them with bacon, and then I did about a 6 to an 8 ounce piece of chicken. And then I took a tablespoon of olive oil, and that's it. That's all I had. That was our main meal. So I kept my fat down. I didn't add the avocado to it that night. Kept my fat down. Now I could have added half an avocado and eliminate the olive oil. See, my object is that at night I don't want to have as much fat at night at my main meal because why? Because I don't want my body to rely on that fat to burn as fuel. I want to get rid of the fat as quickly as possible so it dips into my own stored body fat. That's what I'm trying to do here, okay? Remember, we've been fat adapted for a while. And so what Emily and I did is that we did a 42-hour fast, which means that on Tuesday, we did not have any meals. We did not eat at all. Now, what I like a lot, and I've done these a few times, which is what we call a 42-hour bone broth. Because I found that the bone broth doesn't really affect your blood sugar that much. But so what we did was on Tuesday, see, Monday was my non-fasting day. Tuesday was my fasting day. So instead of having my first meal at 2 o'clock or at 6 o'clock, one meal only that day because it's a fasting day, we decided we haven't done one in a while, and I do believe that we should do these maybe once or twice every 2 or 3 months just to detox our bodies. But what we did was we didn't eat any solid foods at all on Thursday for 23 hours, period. All I had was a lot of water, my sea salt to replace my electrolytes because I'm flushing more water out because I am fasting, and black coffee. That's it. I didn't do a fat coffee. I had black coffee, 0 calories. So what I wanted to do for both of us, and we did, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays is our interval cardio, which we do every Tuesday and Thursday. So at the 23-hour mark on Thursday, Emily and I did a glucose and ketone level. My glucose was at 64. My ketones were at 1.4. Emily's glucose was at 55, and her ketones were at 2.4. We both felt phenomenal, but look at what I just said about our glucose level. Mine was 64 at the end of the day. Emily's was at 55, and if a doctor or a health professional who was not educated in fat adaptation, he would have freaked out if he would have saw that. And he would be wondering, why haven't you passed out yet? Well, most of you would if it did drop down to that, because you're not trained. Your body is not trained to dip into your own stored body fat for fuel. So you will pass out. You've seen people in the gym that do that who just start exercising. Their blood sugar drops too low and they pass out. We don't do that. And so that just shows we went all day with low blood sugar and we felt great. Okay? But then we stepped it up. That was at 23 hours. So we stepped it up. And all we had at 6 o'clock was we had 12 ounces of organic grass-fed beef bone broth. And so we both had that for our meal. And then we did not eat anything after that. No solid foods at all. I slept my normal 7 hours. Emily slept her normal 8 hours. We both woke up pretty good. Emily had a little bit of feeling, but I didn't have zero. I was not hungry at all. Just like right now, I'm 42 hours. I'm a little over 42 hours in my fasting, and I don't feel hungry at all, period. I feel great, lots of energy. Now, what we did is we went ahead and worked out like we always do in a fasted state. So at 41 hours, I was in the gym lifting, doing my interval strength training. You got to remember that when we do interval strength training, we actually have a max set with each body part. So I'm maxing out, which I'm doing a lot of energy. I need major energy to recover, right? And to keep going through my exercise. I had no problem exercising. I had no problem lifting the weights I'm supposed to lift. And I had no problem in recovering. And yet, I was 41 hours in my fasting. That is the myth. Okay, guys? Emily and I have broke the myth like many others have who are doing what we are doing. We are very rooted fat adaptation. So our body is drawing into our body fat for fuel to make up for the lack of glucose in our blood. Now, you've heard me talk about this in the past, about on my videos. Like I said, go back and see them. I talk about how the body is always going to have a certain amount of glucose sitting somewhere in the organs or in the muscle, mainly in the muscle, known as glycogen, because you have to have some amount of glucose somewhere because your brain operates on about 18%, and some of the organs do too. So your body is always going to have some. Well, if you're on a very, very low carb, and this is what a lot of these professionals don't get it, but when you're on a real low carb and you're fat adapted like we are, well, where is and that bank account in the muscle is running low, where is the body going to get the glucose from? Well, very simply, it's called glucogenesis. Now, I'm going to put a blog post in this video description that will actually show the pictures of our readings at 23 hours, okay? And I'm also going to save the pictures that I'm going to do now to show you and put that in there. So all you got to do is when this comes up at YouTube or on my Weight Loss Made Easy Solution Facebook group page, you just got to click onto the description. The blog post will come up. Click on that and you'll see the actual blood tests that'll tell you the truth. Blood tests do not lie. I have no idea what my blood is at now. I have no idea what my glucose level is. I have no idea what my ketone levels are. But technically, after exercising, your glucose level should go up because that's the body taking the glycogen out of the muscles and dumping it into the blood for energy. So it should go up. When the glucose goes up, the ketones should drop. So technically, I should have higher glucose levels today, or after, as soon as I test, and lower ketones. More or less, it should be different than when I did it at 23 hours yesterday. Okay, so let's see where my glucose level is. Now, let's, okay, here's my thing. Which finger do I want to try this time? Let me get everything ready here, guys. Okay, here we go. Let's see, right there. Here we go. It got me. That one got me. I don't know why. Ooh, I'm hydrated. Big time. That's a good sign. I don't have to squeeze too much to get it out. So we're going to do my glucose first, and then we'll do my ketones next. So here we go with my glucose. All right. There's my glucose. See where we're at. We're at 74. That's pretty good. I mean, mine on yesterday was what? It was 62. So now let's see what my ketones are. Like I said, my ketones should be lower. All right, let's get some good blood here. All right. There's my ketones. My ketones are pretty high. For me, that's 1.3. So that's pretty high for me because my body is able to utilize most of the ketones in my blood. So this is telling me that I'm in deep autophagy. 74 was my glucose, and 1.3 was my ketones, which means I'm in fat burning, major fat burning. But what's this telling me? Okay, this is telling me that yesterday at 23 hours, my glucose was at 62. Most of the health professional doctors would freak out at that, say you can't operate that way. I did. I felt fine, so I blew that. Now, again, I told you exactly how the body works the next day. So I go to the gym. Why am I able to exercise, go through my training, plenty of energy, not have to drop any weights, walk out the gym fully recovered? Why am I able to do that if my glucose was so low and you as a doctor are telling me it's too low, I can't operate? Because the body is not stupid, guys. The body has what they call glucogenesis. And so when I started exercising, what glucose I have stored in my muscle is being drawn out and dumped in the blood so I can keep going. This is what blood test proves. You see? Does it make sense? I mean, science is telling us this. Okay? So guys, I just wanted to do this video. Like I said, I'm going to post the blog post in the description center of this video so you can actually, it's more specific and explains more about the fat adaptation and how it works. And that's our goal as being a client of mine. My goal is to get my clients to a position of being fat adapted so that their bodies will switch over to burning their own stored body fat when needed. And those of you that are pre-diabetics or type 2 diabetics or have a fatty liver, this is very, very important. This is going to, by doing these protocols, this is going to get you off the medication. I don't care what your doctor's saying. That, oh, no, you can't reverse type 2 diabetes. That's BS. Some of the top doctors in the world are doing it, and that's who I'm following, and that's who I'm learning from, and it's continually learning. And I even have documentation of my clients who are dropping crazy amounts of blood sugars because they've been so high for so many years. So guys, I hope you saw some value in this. And you know what, I wanted to go real quick. What are some of the benefits of actual being in fat adaptation and actually switching over to an environment known as autophagy? What are the benefits from it? This is the benefits that Emily and I are getting on a daily basis. And I'm going to read them really quick here. Anti-aging, producing new muscle stem cells. That's why our strength is going up all the time. Naturally detoxing the body. So what are we doing? We're detoxing the environmental toxins we're sucking in every single day. You guys aren't. We're doing that every day because we are in fat adaptation. Helps flush out inflammation. You guys heard me talk about this 100 times. Inflammation is the root cause of all diseases. So what are we preventing? Could it be preventing maybe coronavirus too? It could. Inflammation, right? Boost the immune system. You've heard the doctors constantly on TV saying the people that are having major issues with the coronavirus have depressed immune systems. Emily and I and my clients who are fat adapted, that's what we're doing every day. We're keeping our immune system healthy. Next one, help to promote a healthy gut. That's a big one. I mean, science is telling us that all three of the protocols that I do, primal eating, which is ketogenic diet, combining it with intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting, and then drinking hydrogen-rich water, which is known by science to promote, not only boost the immune system, but also strengthens the gut, and that is new science. That was discovered in 2020, recently, okay? Helps to reverse type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes. Well, that's a no-brainer because blood testing doesn't lie, and many of my clients have reversed it. Helps to reverse a fatty liver. That's a no-brainer because once you get your blood sugar regulated and down to a healthy, normal level, the fatty liver is gone. The liver can reverse itself very easily. Promotes fat burning. Well, that's a gimme. I mean, all you have to worry about is getting your blood sugars to a healthy level and get your ketones up, and the fat's going to come off anyway, so you don't have to worry about it. This was discovered by other researchers from the Boston College, who is now teaching other oncologists that by being in autophagy or by doing a ketogenic diet or a primal eating diet, those of you that have cancer or trying to prevent cancer, science is now showing that cancer can't survive on fat. It dies. Cancer lives off what? Sugar. What is glucose? Sugar. You deplete your blood, you deplete your body of sugar, switch over to just primary fat, cancer can't live. That's what they're doing now, okay? So guys, that kind of gives you an idea. Like I said, go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, check this YouTube out, hit the description center, click onto the blog post, there's the specifics of it, or you can go to my Weight Loss Made Easy Solution Facebook group page and join it, and I put information in there too, plus my fat burning recipes. Okay guys, hope you saw some value in this, hope you saw how we broke the myth. So those of you that are thinking that your blood sugar is too low and you're up in your 80s or 70s, you're not even close. Don't even worry about it. The problem is you need to walk into fat adaptation slowly. Don't try to jump right into it. You're going to fail. And food matters. What you eat at your last meal does matter, and that will set you up for the next day. You guys have a great day. We'll see you guys at the next video.